magic. This is not a game, this is not a game. Banging on your chip when I come through the pain. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic.
It's alright, man. Cool. I be going there like the positive. You don't really brag about it when you know you got it. Real hard to read it, nigga hooked, don't find it. Say a lot of things and never catch like sign it. Zoom, I'm gone. When I'm in my zone and get it going, Donkey Kong. They got the hand dollar, will you give a dog a bone? I'm like, oh no, you gotta get it on your own. They get an attitude, I'm like, you better check your tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in a car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out killing clones. Coming in strong like, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, one kind of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Everybody wanna kill the king, or you shit wanna take the crown. I can see through it like a stomach with a other sign. When I hit the gas, I be going like 100 miles. They be getting tired, running out like 100 house. All up in my business, real nose like a bloodhound. I'ma throw them off like I'm standing on a picture mound. All they do is look at Instagram while they sit around. Hate me in real life, but you liking pictures now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style, they be at the brand new when they know I've been around.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start out here with the option left. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Now Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Chicago trusted Darnell Mooney to step up and be their top wide receiver, and he gave them a 1,000-yard season in return. They're certainly hoping that the third-year wideout can form a lasting connection with second-year quarterback Justin Fields. Looks like that connection is starting to pay off, this time for a first down.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On play action, Fields. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. This defense for the Packers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Fields on target to Mooney. 1st down, Chicago.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it...
into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 33. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now 14-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
You can't rock me. You can't rock me. You can't rock me. Mike, check. 59. You got to get the ball.
Fields now to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. So a 1st interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
On on second down. Montgomery. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now it's Fields. Touchdown! Cole Kmet, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears have got it back to within a score. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The Packers at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Rodgers. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers. Cobb goes laying out for that one, and he has it.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Looked good, though. Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Here we go.
Rodgers going to throw. This one complete to Tunyon underneath. And they snap him short of the first. as he can only get to the 20. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Blankenship's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Byron Pringle now to return it. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. The drive will start with an option going left. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A huge play there for Chicago. 41 yards. Defender was right there in his shorts. Is that one of those situations as a DB where you just tip your cap and say, nice catch?
Well, you're supposed to, but a true competitor, he's not tipping his cap at all. He's upset he still didn't make the play. If it's a 50-50 ball or a moment of truth, he's got to win more than his fair share of them as well.
Probably especially angry because if it was incomplete, would have been 4th down.
Exactly.
Off play action, Fields. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. Santos' kick is up and through, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's got his man here, Beasley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Now Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Taken in at the 11. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Fields on first down. That's caught by Montgomery. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Well, they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. They'll go option to the short side. And they'll have it in the red end zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a first down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Yeah, he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago.
Darnell Mooney from 17 yards out.
And the Bears are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Santos with the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw.
He'll go right back to Tunyon.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10, right at the 40. On play action, now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10.
Throwing now is Rodgers. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. And what I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football, all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play.
Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, it's Jones. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3 tight ends up front here, 3rd and goal. Here's Jones. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and they will take a 7-point lead. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
From the 44, Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Play action. It's Fields. Flushed out right. And he finds Montgomery complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Rasul Douglas picks it. 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost him.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And a lead now up to 14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Fields. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. This is caught. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Packers are on their way to a 2-0 start. Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. Will go down as a gain of 6. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And they're going to get this up to midfield. From the 50, here's Fields. Buying time to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Fields. He's letting this one go for Fuller. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Back to throw, Fields. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Packers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. And that's caught inside the 35. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They'll go again to Jones. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. The partner under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Green Bay, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.